Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your boy, Coffee Time with Coach Josh Smalls in the building. We back at it one more time. I miss y'all, man. I really did. I miss seeing y'all. I miss um, messing around with y'all and laughing in the mornings. It's been a nice little ride, but I'm back. Baby girl is in the building. I would have brought her to camp, but she's sleeping now. And yeah, it's been a good chat, great time. You have children, and it's always so different. Nothing's the same. You think you're going to be used to something or accustomed to something, and something's going to go one way. Don't work like that. Learned that the hard way. But, it's still all good. We're here. Baby girl is here. Life is great. What could I say about that? So, I have tons of information and things to talk about that is going on. And I'm just really excited about it. I know that there is a few folks, food was in the building. There's a few folks been asking about the writing competition. And the writing competition is going to set off. I'm going to have all the information ready for Friday. Tomorrow night, I am actually featuring with some of the folks out there in California. It'll be on IG Live, so y'all can tune in. It's going to be they have on the flyers 6 p.m., but I believe it's 6 p.m. California time, which means it's 9 p.m. on the East Coast. So for y'all that are not sure, don't worry. It's going to be about 9 p.m. I won't be the first one on because I'm featuring. They're going to have some other people on first. So just get ready for that. But I'm going to do a whole bunch of new stuff that y'all haven't heard yet. I'm ready to really drop some things that y'all probably are ready for. Marissa in the building. What's good? Good morning, everybody. Listen, first day back on the job. What can I say? First day back. Thank you so much. It is a very exciting time having this little angel floating around the place and telling me what life is, and as if I didn't know, because it's brand new now, so I didn't know. I miss you, but understand 29 years ago today was my first baby. Wow, Mike, how about that? We almost had babies would have been your first and my last, right? Wow, it's interesting. Yeah, so those of you who don't know, I have a brand new baby girl that is in this world as of the 26th. And oh man, we had a scary time in the hospital. Monitoring her heart rate and heart rate going is so much. Hopefully one of these days, I don't miss the diapers at all. I'm with you. I do not miss the diapers. You can have that part of it. I don't miss it. But more than treating you, having the to see a brand new baby and smelling that, because babies have that amazing scent. It's just the baby smell, right? That baby smell. Tiffany, what's good? That baby smell is absolutely the best. There is nothing quite like it. And when you have that in the morning, in the nighttime, in the evening, when you have that, there is nothing quite like it. Nothing matches that. You know what I'm saying? Nothing at all. So having that every day, every morning now has become such an amazing thing all over again. And like I said, I've been here before, but it doesn't change. It doesn't change. I mean, it's still a new thing. It's still a new beginning. It is not going to be the same thing as you thought it was last time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm excited about that. I'm happy to have that experience. But she stole my heart. That's all I can say. Stole it. So I wake up to her, go to sleep to her. The infants, you're always checking this, look real closely if they breathe in, see what they laugh, and you can't wait for them to smile when they're sleeping. I think one of the most amazing things is to see when a baby is sleeping and they smile or they laugh and they sleep. I think that's one of the best things about having a newborn. Those stolen moments that you can't get back. You'll never see that same smile again. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but what y'all been up to? What's good, bro? What y'all been up to? Talk to me, man. Y'all bring me back up to speed because I know I missed a lot of stuff. I missed a lot of things. me slide this. What a great way, hold on. What a great way to start the morning with the newborn baby story. All the yes. Melissa, let me tell you something. I try to not pick her up all the time, but you can't help it. You know what I'm saying? You want to bring her close and feel her beating, her heart beating against yours. You want to feel her inhale and exhales against your chest. You want to feel her hands, her nails. You know what I'm saying? The way her body rumbles when she laughs or when she cries. Marianne, good morning to you. You want to feel all those things, and nothing changes that. And it's like it's very addictive. It's very like the moment you put her down, you want to pick her right back up. You know what I'm saying? It's like the moment she's down on the bed, sleeping, or whatever she's doing, whether her mom picks her up or if her grandmother has, because her grandmother's here, one of her grandmothers. Uh, it doesn't matter. You want it right back. You don't want to be away from that. Oh yeah, who's got snow? I think New York, Jersey, and Pennsylvania is getting snow pretty good. Who else got snow? It was snowing pretty bad. Well, it was. I think Pennsylvania was expecting like 15 inches. 15 inches is not gonna work for me anymore. I've done that when I was a kid. I'm not doing 15 inches ever again. Not gonna be able to do. Not gonna be able to do. Not gonna be able to do. I do not miss the snow. I don't mind seeing it. It looks really nice in pictures. It's pretty, right? It's amazing. I'm not walking in that shit. I'm not driving. If it's snowing, I'm staying in the damn house. I'm old now. I realize that I'm old enough to say that that's it for me. My youngest nurse forever, she was always attached. Yo, so Marissa, that nursing thing is awesome. That whole nursing situation is awesome. And it makes you really look at the amazing body and how a woman's body is such an amazing thing. And I say thing, but you know, it's a phenom, right? The woman's body, the way it works, that it can house a baby for months. Um, I can carry 15 inches a month. I feel you, Mike. I feel you. I feel you. But to know that she can house a body, a human body, for an appointed time and feed it. And then once that baby finally comes out, and she had given up almost everything, every bit of her, almost her life to bring forth this baby. And then to see that baby come out of the womb, right? And fellas, you cut the cord. And once you cut it, the baby's wiped off a bit and placed on the mother's chest. And that moment will still you, right? That moment will uh, make you of stone, if you would, and you cannot move. And you never forget seeing that. You never forget witnessing what that looks like and what that feels like. It's like the room just doesn't have air anymore. Everything is locked in. You know what I'm saying? And you never forget that. And then you get to take this package home. Yes, the bonding through nursing, probably what I miss. Yep, absolutely. 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 Which said, they say birth is equivalent to dying. So every time a woman surrenders her life for a child, it's beautiful. Absolutely. And then Marissa said, your blood volumes double when pregnancy. Your pelvic bones, most pelvic bone, become sacred, scarred in females. Right. Let me tell you something. I have not known that so much about the woman's body until you start realizing what a pregnancy really is in that term. You know what I'm saying? There's so much to learn from that moment, you know, that whole time. And you watching this human form inside of another human. And then think about it like this. How about this? Here's something. All of the eggs in that woman was once in her mother. and all of her eggs was in her mother, and all of her eggs was in her mother. You see what I'm getting at? Like, so all of my daughters, both of them, all of their eggs that they will ever have, once inside their mother, because they were all connected as one. Think about that. Think about the generations that lives inside of one woman. That shit is freaking amazing. Just think about that. Every kid that you have, every girlfriend that you've had, every sister, every aunt, every friend, every woman that you know, all of their eggs were once inside their mother. Their mother housed them and all of their eggs that are inside them. That shit is crazy. That's enough to make you go crazy. Marianne, how much snow y'all got over there? That is enough to make you go crazy. That is crazy. So, I understand when things happen, relationships don't work, but I just, that's why I could never be a man that beats on women. I could never be that. I could never be that. I just, man, that, and y'all never looked at, right, Mike, that's crazy. That's crazy, right? Just think about that for a minute. Every egg, right? Every potential child lives in that mother, but was in the grandmother, if you would. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. I'm just like, yo, that is enough to blow your mind. Thanks, Mike. I was at Christ the Redeemer salute in Brazil. Oh, Shirley, you was in Brazil? Let me find out. I want to go to Brazil. I want to go to Brazil. I want to go to Brazil for several reasons. I want to go to Brazil because I also know that um, I know that Brazil uh, is so when the Africans were stolen and kidnapped from Africa. They were for every one slave that came to the United States. Oh, I got this number off, but there's a great number of um, Africans per one African that came to the United States, and I want to say the number might have been. I don't want to misquote this. I don't want to misquote it, but there were multiple Africans. So one African went to United States of America, but several went to Brazil. And I'm missing, Lovely, what's good? I am missing the number right now. I can't remember the count right now. Right, sugarcane plantation in Brazil. That's what they were working. And Lisa, good morning, Lisa Santiago. Um, so the number, and I'm glad this is Black History Month. This is something that we should talk about. So they would, I guess I have to do a poem since it's Black History Month, and I will get to one. But there were a number of um, a number of uh, multiple Africans that were taken to Brazil per one that went to United States. Um, um, okay, Shirley. Okay, Shirley. That's a good idea. I'm gonna check into that. My work is going to take me everywhere. I'm going to travel. Listen to me. Y'all better learn to speak your stuff into existence. My work is going to take me to those places that I want to visit in this world. I'm going to work in those places. So when I go there, not only am I going there to work, but I'm going to visit because that's the places that I want to go. You better speak it because I already know the power in that. So my work, what I do is going to take me to those places that I want to go visit. Absolutely. Lisa Umi says, good morning to you. Um, but yes, absolutely. So um, I want to write this poem that says, how do you expect me to cram Black History Month in 28 days? Black History in 28 days. You give me 28 days to cram in 365 days, you know what I'm saying, worth of information, worth of accomplishments, worth of journey, right? but it has to say it in a way that it punch you in the chest. Like this poem has to be. I'm telling y'all, be ready for this feature I'm doing tomorrow. Be ready for this feature I'm doing tomorrow. Look at my IG. Be ready for this feature that I'm doing tomorrow because I'm doing poems. It's Black History Month, and I'm not playing no games. I got a poem that says "Fuck Black History Month," and it's only because in my mind you can't give me 28 days. In fact, I'll take my 28 days plus I'll double you. And so that's just how I look at it. Like, okay, you giving me 28 days? I got something for you for 28 days. I got something for you. Let me give you my 28 days, right? And so tomorrow I have a lot of stuff that I'm going through. I have poems that I've not read before. And tomorrow I'm going to read, we'll do a lot of poems that you haven't heard before. That's going to be basis of the show. So all of you who love my work, be ready for tomorrow night because tomorrow night is going down. Check my IG page and be ready because it's going down. And I might pull it up and go YouTube live. I don't know. I might just do that. But there's going to be some stuff that we're going to talk about Black History. So let's do this. Since it's Black History Month, let's just jump off of it. I want y'all to type in here, give me a Black History moment that you love to speak about or remember. Oh, you like them cups? Look at that cup. They on deck. I've been selling them like hotcakes. I'm gonna have to place another order. I think I'm gonna have to use another company because this company here, I don't know. But yeah. So yeah, type in your Black History Month, your Black History moment, and go ahead and use your computer. You have a computer in front of you. Use a computer, and let's do that. You know, I dreamt of it for you. I touched and agreed. What you dreamt, lovely? Oh my gosh, tell me what you dreamt. I gotta hear this. I pay attention to dreams. Dreams speak in a different way. They speak in a different tone. A lot of people don't understand what dreams are. They're bigger than just dreams. You have to understand what they are and what they mean. And that's just me. You don't have to believe that way. That's fine. I get it. I'm totally not upset if we're on different pages. Just telling you where I'm at with mine. But yeah, me attending the Million Man March. Mike, listen. My Omi is here too. She went to I think she was on post at the Million Man March. Let me tell you something. I went to the Million Man March with some coworkers from my job, and oh wow! So Lovely said my great grandparent Thomas, grandpops Thomas Mundy Peterson is the first Black person to vote, among other firsts. Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. I want that poem, Lovely. I want that poem. And if you're not going to write it, I want to write it. Tell me. I want that story. I want to write that poem. In fact, I will write that poem, and I'll do that poem in my feature tomorrow if I get that poem done. I want that poem. Oh my gosh, yes. So back to Million Man March. Some coworkers of mine, two coworkers of mine, we drove down from New York to DC, and it was so much traffic, and it was just really, I couldn't believe how much energy was amongst the people. And we stayed at this hotel in Alexander, which is maybe 15 minutes from DC, Alexander, Virginia, right? And we would park and take this train over, whatever we did to get to where it was. And we walked for like hours, right? Just walking and visiting stuff. There were a sea. There was an ocean of Black faces, Black men. From when I say all across the country, I've heard so many different accents, right? So many different accents, so many different skin colors. And I mean, some men, they were so dark that they were purple and their skin was just shining. It's like the sun was massaging their skin. Like, this is what I'm talking about. It was absolutely amazing. I was standing next to actors. I was standing next to doctors. I was standing next to husbands. I was standing next to gang members. There was gang members on both sides from different places. Ed Lover was in front of me. And I remember, one of the moments I remember is when Winnie Mandela was standing up there and they had told her she couldn't speak, that it was against foreign policy. They had created some bullshit in the moment that said if she spoke, she was breaking foreign policy and kept her from speaking. And when she couldn't speak, she had a young brother there that was able to speak in her place and say what she wanted to say. It broke my heart. But it showed you how devilish these white politicians are, right? They want to practice, they want to preach harmony, but they are very devilish and evil in what their practices are. And they gave out a number to call and ask why did they block sister from speaking, right? And nobody couldn't get through. And Ed Lover was standing like 3 people in front of me. He was like, I got through. And he was screaming on the phone. If you see the documentary, it had pictures of Ed Lover. I was 3 people behind Ed Lover. He said it. He called through. And people calling trying to figure out what was going on. Horrible. But it was such an amazing thing. She said, this dream was a dream. It was really focused on RDM, but it centered on you and Wits traveling to do shows. I showed it behind us. That's awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. We got to talk about that dream. And so there was this energy that surrounded us, right? All these beautiful black men just around. I mean, we didn't have anywhere to move. And we was on the grass. We was on the White House, the lawn by the needle, the monument, I think it's called, the needle, that big needle. And there wasn't a straw paper, you know, the wrapping of the straw, even that wasn't left on the ground. There was nothing left on the ground, nothing. And they talk about how we're nasty and black people this and black people. That grass was immaculate. In fact, they were talking on the radio about how respectable it was and how we left the conditions of their city when we left there. The keynote address that Minister Farrakhan delivered was amazing. A lot of people said that it was a waste because he didn't have an idea for people to do. And this is what I want people to understand. You know, in the Bible it said the voice rattled the bones, right? Didn't say it told the bones what to do. It just rattled the bones. It shook the bones. It shook the bones. The bones were shook that day. And sometimes we mistake what somebody else's, not their agenda, but what their job is, what their duty is. And I don't believe it was set for him to say, okay, now you go and do this, and you go and do this, and you go and do that. But it was a tone that was set. That's why it was the Day of Atonement. What the tone meant, right? The tone was to rattle the bones in the valley so that the bones could do something. And some of the bones did, and some of the bones didn't. Some of the bones needed some more encouragement, but that wasn't the task. And we got to stop telling people what their job is. And we were so wrapped up in, oh, well, we didn't have this, we didn't have that. You still don't have it. But that's not his job. That's your job. You know what I mean? It's not up to men to tell you what to do. It's up to you to find that. And I understand some people need more help. I'm not doing that. But right, Mike, it was no fights. There's no arguments. Nobody talked about anybody being robbed or being disruptive or man, I had so many hugs from people that I didn't know. And so many, brother, I love you. And brother, thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming here. Man, I was never in a place where I felt that. It was just a sea of black men. And I felt that, right? That we didn't care what faith we belonged to. We didn't care what mosque or what church we belonged to. We didn't care what belief. We didn't care if we believed in God or not. We showed up. We showed up and we did what we were supposed to. I'm going to put this back up there. We showed up and we showed up for our families. We showed up for our people. We showed up for our ancestors. We showed up for the one true God we believe in. And we showed up because it was a call for us to show up. And that is a Black History moment. That is a Black History moment. No one can take, no one can hold trophy to that, right? That was something that man in his mind, that the minister in his mind had a vision, and I don't care where you believe it came from, but that was a God-sent vision to have that in that moment, in that timing, and have those men. Do you know how many men didn't die that day? How many black men didn't go to prison? How many black men didn't sell drugs, didn't fall victim to police brutality, did not rob a liquor store, didn't get drunk, didn't die because of overdose, didn't get caught hanging out doing whatever. It did not happen. So many lives were saved in that moment. And how many lives were saved because of that moment? The stuff we don't talk about. That was one of the most amazing moments in my life to witness the Million Man March. I revisit that thing right now like it was yesterday. And that was what, 95? How many years ago? Man, such an amazing moment. Such an amazing moment. Such an amazing moment. Would not change that for the world. No way. No way. And I got to see so many. Betty is in the building. Miss Betty, how you doing? How are you, Miss Betty? They counted the amount, but it was over 1 million people there. Mike, I'm gonna tell you, when you look at, okay, this is what I want everybody who wasn't there, because Mike, you're 100% correct. Everybody who was not at the Million Man March, I want you to think, look up, if you haven't been, if you can't go out there to the monument, I want you to look up the distance between the monument and the White House lawn. Look up the distance of that whole space and imagine it being shoulder to shoulder with black men. We had a black army that was ready. Well over 1 million people. That was just the people standing there. That wasn't the people on the side. That wasn't the people that was within the nation who came to be there. I'm just talking about the faces that took the time to drive there to receive a message. That wasn't about hanging out. That wasn't about getting high and drinking and boozing and just doing, you know what we do, man. Y'all know how we like that. We was there for a purpose to do some amazing stuff. Stranger. It was beautiful. If you're just coming in, we're talking about the Million Man March. It was absolutely beautiful. I would love to revisit that moment again. I would absolutely love to revisit that moment again. Nothing in the world like that. If you're on Facebook, I'm tuning in. Thank y'all so much. On Tracks, Bredgen, what's good? Listen, On Tracks, send me some quotes, man. I need to get in the stock market. Listen, I'm hearing some things I need to be in. Send me some stuff. DM me right now. And I'm going to check as soon as I get off here. I need to invest my pennies. Lady V, what's good? Everybody who's on Facebook, I can see your messages to my phone, but if you come on YouTube, if you go to my YouTube, I can answer your messages right away. Please come on my YouTube page, and I can answer your questions right away. And I can comment to you too. I'm texting them as to my YouTube channel, and I can get all your messages right away. Right away. Man, but we're talking right now, we're talking about the Million Man Watch. So I want to talk about your Black History moments. Talk about all your Black History moments. Tell me about those. Tell me what stood out for you. Tell me what was great. Miss Betty said, that's right, Mike. There were over 1 million people at the Million Man March. I didn't go because I thought it was for the brothers only, but my children's godfather were there. Yes, and it was for the men. The lecture was for the men, Miss Betty, but there was a sea of women out there. It was the sisters showed up. The sisters showed up. They came, and when it came by the score, it was so many it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. You didn't have to be a Muslim. You didn't have to be a member of the Nation of Islam. You didn't have to be a non-gang member. You didn't have to be a gang member. You didn't have to be you could just be the regular Rudy from the corner. That was the place for you to be there. And it was phenomenal. Yes, say it like that. Phenomenal. I would not have changed that for a day. Like my life daily, I am Black History Month. Come on, Lady V. That's what I'm talking about. You are Black History Month. That's right. Every one of us, we make Black history every morning, every day, every moment you make. Every time you stay alive, you make Black History Month. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it was so many people that I didn't get to see my Umi until I got back home and she was there. But it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. I also remember, since we talk about moments, and a lot of people have their things to say about him and have talked to social media. Sarah, good morning to you. I remember Reverend Al Sharpton marching through. Y'all hear me talk about this all the time. This was a big thing for me in my teenage years. I remember Al Sharpton marching through Brooklyn with baseball bats, banging on the drug houses, on their doors, telling them to get their drugs out of this community. I remember that. I remember that. It's not something someone told me. I actually remember that. We actually walked with him from East New York to Cyprus. When they got to Queens, I forgot which way they went, but we turned back and went back home. But I remember seeing that. I remember seeing it. And that for me was great because here we are as a man that they didn't ask him. He didn't have to do that. He decided to do that. And they marched. I mean, they marched. He was, the chant was, no drugs, no drugs, no drugs, no. They were saying no drugs the whole time. And it was, the roar was amazing. The proudest moment is witnessing Barack becoming sworn as president. Tony, I'm going to say this to you. The first time I voted was for Barack Obama. And I did not know a lot about politics. I've never been a political thinking person. I'm learning more about it now because I'm knowing that I'm learning what we need as Black people as far as politics is concerned. I'm learning that and what we need to do. That's why Asia and I started that show. I really, really, really would like y'all to come on the Thursday show and bring your questions so we can ask these questions to people who can answer them, because we need to make change. And part of making change is knowing what we need to change. But I voted for um, Barack Obama. In fact, we took my daughter and her sister to see him speak at the not Ovens, but at the Bojangles Arena here. And we went there and saw him. The white police officers had some of the nastiest fucking attitudes. They were just nasty. The deputies that was on, nasty attitudes. And I'm saying it shows you who these people are. You know what I mean? They had some of the nastiest attitudes. And I was like, but why? Why? Very proud to do that. I was proud to take the girls to see that. A little change to make change. Listen, Lady V, you know that's my quote. A little change make change. But that was an amazing moment for me. That was amazing. Queen B, appreciate it. Appreciate you. That was an amazing moment for me. Um, uh, a man, the Black man speaking in the chicken arena. You're right, Mike. But I didn't think about it like that. But yeah, yeah. That was a great moment for me. That was a great moment for me. Um, Watching Kamala Harris. That is a great Black History moment because I get to share those stories with my daughters, right? And my granddaughters. I have a granddaughter too. I have two granddaughters. But I get to share those moments with them. I get to tell them about their chances and their odds and what they can focus on moving their lives in a different direction. I get to talk to them about that. Amazing. 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 Ms. Betty said, my Black History moment, well, one of them was when Grace Shirley Chisholm ran for the President of the United States. Talk about that. Did y'all know that there was a Black woman, Shirley Chisholm, that ran for the President of the United States? In fact, there's a rapper that Bismarcky said, Reagan is the president, but I voted for Shirley Chisholm. Yeah, yeah. I'm going old school. Y'all might not know nothing about that. Right? That's right, Miss Betty. That's right. In fact, Black History Month, I would like everybody who's on here to post something about Black History Month every day. Just one thing. Screenshot something. Post one thing about Black History Month. Let's fill the internet up with that. Let's viral Black History Month. I think that's something we should do. In fact, I don't know. I might have to do something special just because. I am. Let me tell you, I am going to. I want people to come to my my feature tomorrow. That's going to be on IG Live, come to my feature because I'm going to deliver some Black History poems that y'all haven't heard me do before. Please do that. Okay, Mike, I will. Lady V said, how you feel about people saying that it was not a real inauguration? What about with a Barack? You know what? The fact that they're giving it attention and it's being so negative about it makes me happy. I'm happy for that. I'm happy that they are seeing that their old ways are not the same anymore, that their old ways can't last for so much longer. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to see that part of it. I really did not like the disrespect that they gave Barack. I don't. I don't like the disrespect that they gave Kamala. I don't like the disrespect that they give Black people that are doing something different than what they're used to. But I understand where it's coming from. I'm gonna give you an example. When I went back to school. I wasn't a traditional college student. Non-traditional means that I went to college as an adult rather than straight from high school. And I want to put this on here. So there was this Irish guy in my classroom. Again, another non-traditional student. And we were in our creative writing class, and I forgot what the topic was. But you know me, I'm always writing about my people. That's, without my people, where would I be? And he took offense to something, and he said out of his mouth, I'm just tired of hearing about African Americans, which I don't like people call me African American. I got my own feelings about that, But anyway, African Americans and their slavery, like the Irish were enslaved first. And I listened to him, and then I went, and I was like, well, here's my thing. Yeah, they enslaved the Irish. And here's the thing about it. They enslaved y'all first, and y'all were too weak. I'm sorry. Y'all backs were not strong enough, and y'all broke, and y'all were beaten and battered. Y'all couldn't do nothing. I said, so I understand how you're upset because you are from a people who were not strong enough to handle what we went through. But y'all got off easy. We didn't. Y'all shit didn't last long. Ours did. And look it up, because Irish people they did try to enslave the Irish people first. They just couldn't handle the work. They couldn't handle the workload. But it shows you how evil white American people were, and still are, some of them, right? But think about how they were back then. They saw people and just decided to, we're going to get them and make them do this work because we're too lazy to do it. We're going to make them do it. This is their mindset. And they found the African. And they took the African and brought him here and made him do the work. And guess what? Irish people lived off of that too. Irish people got paid off of that too. In fact, the poorest of slaves were rented slaves. The poorest of white people, were rented slaves. Okay, we're going to let you use these slaves on your land to do whatever you want to do, but this is what you got to pay us back. In fact, the Irish did get a lot from that. They stepped ahead of us. In fact, even though they treated the Irish bad, even though they treated the poor white trash, trailer park trash, as you call them, even though they treated them bad, and they were just, the only difference between them and the slave was that, number one, they wasn't black, and number two, that they had the freedom to roam places where we didn't. And they would still vote for slavery to go just because they want to have something up over a black man or a black woman. So my whole thing was, how dare you? How dare you pollute what my people had to go through, what your people would have went through, but you wasn't strong enough to do it. Oh, he was really mad then. But we're speaking actual facts now. So you can't disrespect someone not knowing the whole story about it. Yes, they tried to enslave the Irish people. Absolutely. We know that. Those of us who study, we know that. But we know why it failed. And I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just speaking actual facts. And I'm speaking in the tone that I had to speak about when he attacked, I'm tired of hearing about this, the African American. They don't have those issues now. Slow your horses. As my boy Stefan would say, hold on, Jim Shoe, because we're still living through that. Jim Crow laws and the black laws and redlining and gerrymandering. We're still going through that. You don't. You've not gone through that. You've not lived through that. So I had to check them and put them in place. But that was a great moment for me because I get to stand on actual facts that he can't dispute. You can run around all hell you want, but you can't dispute the truth. You know, Mike said, okay, I'm trying to get some of these messages. There are people saying Joe Biden is not the president because it wasn't an inauguration. Well, V, there's a lot to be said about this whole situation, and I agree with it. In fact, if you look at it, they would say because they didn't exchange the exchange of presidents shaking hands and walking down together and all that thing, because that didn't take place. They're saying the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But that's purposely done as well. So I'm not surprised if some other shit jump off. So I'm there. I love you too, Umi. I love you too. Well, they're saying that they couldn't handle the workload, but they wasn't around to see who couldn't do it. That's true, Mike. That's true. Mike says to answer that, if the Supreme Court judge did the swearing in, it was real. Absolutely, Mike. Absolutely right. Absolutely. Mike, you're right. I get a good laugh watching him say Trump is the president of the. I'm trying to not have so much to say about this ex-president of yours. I'm trying not to have too much to say about him. And I beg my people to please be careful of what you post, because there's going to be some laws that are going to be passed to hurt people who hurt the good old boy network from a different standpoint. So just be mindful of the things you say. Y'all know me. I'm normally more boisterous about these kind of political situations, and even in a jokingly way. But I will not do that this time. Because I know what can come from that. But yeah, they did exchange handshakes because the vice president was the president for 3 hours. And Tiffany, I'll tell you, there's so much. I don't think people are actually looking at. Let's just cut it short. The good old boy network is failing, and to be honest with you, they're failing itself. They are destroying what their good old boy network is. Good. Because their good old boy network is full of shit. It's trash. And it's coming. This is why I keep telling y'all we have to do politics, local politics. I would rather you do local politics and don't vote for the president. Don't vote for the president. If you got to vote for president, you got all these problems with the president. Don't vote for the president, but you got to vote local, y'all. You have to have, and I'm telling you, I'm learning politics now. You have to have the governor on your side in your state. If your governor is not on your side, I'm not saying he need to be Republican or Democrat or independent or all these other kind of shits. If your governor is not on your team, you're in trouble. We're behind. There's elections coming up and we don't even know. We're not talking about it. We're waiting for the big election. That's the foolery. That's where you're getting tricked, because you're waiting on the big one, and the big one don't really weigh much. The big one, the president gets in office, they're going to do the shit they want to do anyway. But your governor is the one who says, okay, here's what we need for my state. That's who you want. Not your senator. You need your governor. That's the one that says, here's what we need for my state. And that's how you get things passed. If we don't get our governor's office straight, it's not going to change. That's why Atlanta was so good. And I say this almost every time I come on the live. I tell y'all this. Stop saying your vote don't count, because they keep counting. This whole election waited for the black vote. We had to count all of them votes. They kept saying, yeah, these votes are in, these votes are this red's not going to change. But here we got a lot of votes in these communities right here. And those are basically in the black community. I'm not making this up. That's what CNN was saying the whole time. All of these votes we wait for, all these people is predominantly black, and we're waiting on those votes. And that's what you kept missing when you're watching CNN. You're waiting to hear who won, but you need to see who they are waiting, what votes they are waiting for. I was talking in relation to what you were saying, people were saying, I'm thinking you somewhere else. I'll keep thinking somewhere else. My bad, Mike, I might have missed something. Our governor ran with Trump, and we can't wait to vote him out. Tony, let me tell you something. I'm learning. I'm in a group with some powerful folks who I share a conversation with every week, talking about race relations and what's next. The governor is where you want to focus on. The local seats, of course, but you want your governor on your team. You want your governor on your team. If your governor was a 45 supporter, you need to get rid of that governor, because that governor don't think nothing about you at all. Right, y'all? The power is in the local offices. That's where we need to put our concentration. Shirley, let me tell you something. I wish I could brand that on everyone's tongue. Here's let me show y'all how beautiful this work that I'm doing is. Well, mind you, I've been since 19 years of age. 20 days after my 19th birthday, I was gunned down. I deal with some amazing pain. Every day I have some injuries. Every day I have things that I don't talk about. There's not a moment that I'm without discomfort. Then I got hurt in the job 2011, and the doctors medically wrote me out as disabled. Now, y'all don't know this because I don't talk this all the time. Some of you do. You might have heard me before. Because of what I go through that you don't know about, right? Within trying to educate myself and learning how to help people learn how to write and explore different ideas within themselves, I've ended up in some amazing places. As y'all know, I am the artist in residency here. And I'm very proud of it. I wear that with a great badge of honor, because you can't apply for a position. You have to be nominated, then you have to be voted in, right? So with me being voted into this position, that says a lot about my work, because that's what was based off of your work. I'm in a Zoom meeting that I was invited to by a magazine that UNCC puts out a publication, and they added me to their publication, and they invited me to come to this meeting. How about I met the mayor of Salisbury, which where my residency is, on this meeting Saturday. Had no idea I was going to meet the mayor, right? And they got a warm welcome from her. I met some people in Memphis that are doing some great things. What I'm saying is, you don't know what line of work, whatever it is that you do, you don't know what your position is and what you're going to be doing in that position. I'm in a position to do some amazing things, and I'm proud of that, because it's taken only me to do so. And I'm working towards doing some amazing things that are just about to take its course, it's about to take its place. I know this platform is bigger than just writing poetry and teaching people how to write. I'm learning that now, that it's bigger than what I thought it would be initially, and I'm not afraid of it. I just want to do the right thing with it. I want to represent my people in a way that is just and proper, and that they're represented in a way that they can say, yes, this is good for me. This is good for our people. I want you to think about that. What you're doing is good for your people. Because when you're no longer here, your little ones, your family have to carry whatever you left. They have to remember the things that you stood on. And you don't know who is going to pick up that torch and do the next thing. So when I'm teaching and I'm educating, when I'm talking, when I'm on lives, when my grandchildren and their children and their children's children and their children's children are old enough to go back and look at what their great grandfather had done, and what he was about, me, speaking of myself, what I decided to do with my life, I want them to hold their heads up and say, hey, I understand what his plight was and what he wanted to do. And maybe somebody will pick that up and go. Maybe my daughter will do it. What an amazing place to be, right? So you got to think about that in your actions. Let me try to get some of these comments in. Tony, our governor, okay. Okay, Mike's I'm on the picture. You can't make a judgment on how the election will go based on the polls before the votes are counted, because we don't get polls. Right. And V, also, what we miss with voting is we're last minute people. And what happened in this election was they allowed those mail-in ballots to come. Those mail-in ballots is what won the election. It's what won the election. Shirley said, John, God will lead you down the right path of utilizing your talent as long as you stay focused. Thank you, Shirley. I believe that. I believe that. And I know that now, walking in this path, because I listen, in high school, I remember, it wasn't my science teacher. I think it was my social studies teacher. It was this white man. He had this one of those long beards that come down. You know, they have those beards that come down like that, and he was twisting them like that. The mustache, he'd be twisting like that. And he had me in front of the class, answering questions about something we read. I don't remember what it was, but he said to me, he said, Mr. Smalls, I see you standing in front of people one day and giving lectures and speeches. He said, I don't know, something about the image of you there now. I see you doing some things. He said, do you see that? Do you feel that? And I'm looking at this man like, you crazy. I'm not doing no damn speeches and lecturing and teaching people. Think about that shit. This is in my mind, right? Well, let's look at that. 30 some odd years later, here I am doing exactly what this man saw in me that I didn't see in myself. Isn't that amazing? In fact, my mom, my Umi, who I don't know if she's still here, my Umi said to me when I was younger, well, she said when I was young, she saw me perfect. And people, when I say that, people are like, what do you mean? She said she saw me in this image as a child, the strong features and eyebrows and strong looks. She said she saw all of this hair and stuff as an infant. And I'm like, my mom is bugging. But she said when I was young, before I started reading, before I could read, I would literally have the book and I'd be doing like this, like I was reading. And she said, as a kid, she said, man, does my son actually know how to read? You know what I'm saying? And she told me all these things before, and I didn't register until I took time and stepped back and saw that she saw these things in it. My name is Dawood, which is an Arabic or Muslim translation for David in the Bible. Study David in the Bible. What did David do in the Bible? Look, she just put in here. She said, I read books at the age of 1. That's what she put. You know what I mean? I'm not making this up. My Umi's right here to prove y'all that this is what happened. And so what I'm saying is your life is already there. You just have to walk the path. In fact, who knows? Maybe I would have walked a different path if I stayed focused on that then. But I had to go through some shit to get to this point. Right? I had to go through some things to get to this point. So I had to live through some things. I had to go through getting shot. I had to go through getting stabbed. I had to go through getting kicked out of a window, thrown downstairs, getting jumped, right? I had to go through some things to get here. I had to go through getting hurt on a job. I had to go through fighting a system that I didn't understand the power I had with my children, a system that's telling me, oh, well, you have to do this because you're a father and tell all this bull stuff. I had to go through some things to get to this point. And I wish I didn't have to go through some of this stuff. Absolutely. I wish I could have just catapulted to this position, but here we are. I struggle with conditions and challenges that affect me every day, but I don't stop. I keep fighting. Those that are close around me, they know, but everybody don't know that. Umi, Lady V said hi. Everybody don't know that. Everybody don't understand. And it's not for everybody to understand. I've learned that. I have learned that. But at the same time, I'm actually good with with having to take that journey. Because I know some stuff now that I won't have to do again. Some mistakes I won't make again. Right? Some things that I refuse to do again because I know the outcome. Turning pages one at a time and looking might not have read the words, but the vision was planted. Absolutely. And I'm grateful. My mom is here. My Umi is here. And she had struggled through some things in her life. Right? And she could have chose a career over me. And she didn't. She chose me over her career. And it breaks me to a point just to know that she decided I was more important than what her career was. That is amazing. For someone to sacrifice what they want, what they love, and what they work for. Omi, I'm so grateful to you because you didn't have to, but you did. And had she not, this conversation would not be going on. And Ashley rubbing fingers across the page. Yes, Omi. And yeah, when will we have her on your show? I'm gonna bring my Omi on soon. She'll be on my show soon. I'm gonna bring her on one day, and we'll have a great talk and a great conversation. But it probably will be on another show. I wouldn't leave it till morning, for that morning hour, because I would like for her to have more time to talk about not just me, but the beautiful children that she has, my siblings that she had given life to and given birth to, natural birth to 8 beautiful children. And Umi, Miss Betty said, I love you. She said, I love your mom. And I would not want to miss having that moment where she can actually speak on all of who she had made us to be. Ja, the next time my mom comes out, ask her about her time in law school. Okay, Lady V, you know I will, because you know I love your mom. You know your mom always have it for me. She have everything I need. You know, she's always gonna give me what I'm looking for. So, but yeah, there's I will bring my mom on but I will bring her on in a different show, different timing, so I don't have to rush through that 1 hour because she has so much to give. And two, I would like to one thing I would like to do, I'd like to have my mom have her own show, and that you sisters would go on and listen and ask questions and talk to her. She is so full of knowledge. If you love my brother Wits and I, you have to understand where we get it from. And my mom is so full of knowledge. She has so much information. And you young sisters and those sisters that are a little more seasoned, who have gone through some things, my Omi can help you decipher some things. Uh-oh, baby's up. My Omi can help you learn some things and see some things within yourself that you might not have seen. And I would love to figure out how to create that platform. But if I did that, I would ask that you all support her. I would ask that you support her. She's retired, and she's an amazing artist, an amazing spirit. Like I told you, if you love my brother Wits, and I imagine the person who had given us so much of that. And it's by the graces of Allah, by the creator of all things. But he saw in her what we needed. And so she gave us that so that we can be who we are. So that person, the person that you love, you know how to say you get it from your mama, we got it from my mama. And I'm not shorting my dad from the things that he had given us, but I'm just stating what my mom had given, and what has been able to actually massage us into this that we are. So I would love to do that, but I would need y'all to support her in that. And if y'all are willing to do that, I will make that possible, because y'all definitely need to get even a small piece of what she has to offer. So we got like a minute left. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Happy Black History Month. I'm not going to navigate away from Black History Month. Let us shine in this month. Let us show love for ourselves, dignity for ourselves in this month. Let us be Black History Month. Let's start today. And believe in yourself. Trust that you have everything you need to make it through this day, through this moment. Trust that you have everything you need to be loved, to be blessings to someone else, to be amongst those that are blessed. Trust that you have everything you need to be loved in the way that you need to be loved. Everything you need to be perfect and amazing. So start today by being that perfect, amazing self. You are so unique. No one could match you. No one could be you. No one can supersede you in being you. So go out and be great. Go out and be amazing. Go out and be fantastic. But start with giving yourself a great big hug and telling that person in the mirror that you love them beyond life. And watch how this world begins to change, and how this world starts to understand what your true love language is. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be at peace. Have a great and amazing day. I'm going to Stefan's page. Comedian Stefan, we're going there now. Praise and worship. Y'all know how it's going down. Y'all keep it 100 today. Stay in love, stay encouraged, and stay blessed. And be safe out there. Happy Black History Month. I love you guys. Peace and love.